Hello and welcome to our English news, coming to you from Canal, Algérie. To the headlines. Representing the President of the Republic, Prime Minister Ayman bin Abdurrahman is in St. Petersburg, Russia, to take part in the proceedings of the second Russia-Africa Economic Summit. Algeria strongly condemns the coup attempt in Niger, and the Foreign Affairs Minister conveys to President Bazoum the head of state support for Niger during these circumstances. A national multi-sectorial commission is set up to pay damages for the fire-hit citizens in the provinces ravaged by the last forest fires. And a sightseeing tour is offered to our viewers by the end of our news, notably to its famous Kasbah or ancient city. Welcome back. First in our news, representing the President of the Republic, Prime Minister Ayman bin Abdurrahman arrived on Wednesday in St. Petersburg in the Federal Republic of Russia to take part starting from today in the proceedings of the second Russia-Africa Economic Summit held under the motto for peace, security and development. Pursuant to the guidelines of the President of the Republic, the Minister of Foreign Affairs held a phone call with his Nigerian counterpart, Masoudu Hassoumi. The phone conversation, which focused on the latest developments in the Republic of Niger, came following the official press release in which Algeria strongly condemned the coup attempt that took part in this brotherly country. Ahmed Attaf called on his Nigerian counterpart to convey to the President Mohamed Bazoum the support of his brother, President Abdelmajid Tebboune, in this particularly painful ordeal that the Republic of Niger is going through. He also conveyed the wishes of President Abdelmajid Tebboune to see the Republic of Niger quickly overcome this ordeal and return to its political process and institution stability. In the aftermath of the forest fires that ravaged several provinces in the east of the country, a national multi-sectorial commission was set up. This commission is entrusted with dealing with applications filed to pay damages for those citizens hit by the last forest fires, taking into account the data gathered during the census of the damage that is still being carried out throughout the country. Taking the floor during the meeting, the Minister of Interior Brahim Rad indicated that damages will be paid as soon as possible. The forest fires are now under control thanks to the immense efforts deployed by the Civil Defense, the General Directorate of Forests and the People's National Army. As for the victimized families, they will be taken in charge in line with the President of the Republic's guidelines. Story by Melissa Kabesh.
The situation in the provinces affected by the fires is finally under control. In accordance to the President of the Republic's instructions, the main priority is to deal with the damage and compensate the victims. The Interior Minister Brahim Rad affirmed during his visit to the affected areas the state's commitment to pay damages for the victims, assuring that local commissions in charge of this matter already started their work. Associations and anonymous citizens are mobilized to bring help and assistance through solidarity caravans containing food, water, medical equipment, and pharmaceutical products. Another challenge faced with great courage and solidarity by the Algerian people. The Algerian Red Crescent, for its part, sent 4 caravans to Bouira, Jijil, Skikda and Bjaya provinces, in addition to the mobilization of 500 volunteers to contribute in the rescue and evacuation operations. As for the Solidarity Ministry, it announced that the victims will be taken in charge both socially and psychologically, while that of youth and sports dedicated youth hostels to house victimized families.
The heat wave isn't only affecting Algeria, but other countries of the world as well, causing the outbreak of several fires and both human and material losses. According to the UN, global warming is the main cause of temperatures increase, in addition to a weather phenomenon called El Niño. Melissa Kibash has the details.
Greece, like many Mediterranean countries, is witnessing a great heat wave, especially with the ongoing fires resulting to human and environmental damage. The Greek authorities instructed the evacuation of outskirts of two cities, namely Volos and Lemia. Thousands of tourists were already evacuated from the roads and Corfu Island after a fire outburst due to the heat. In Italy, the island of Sicily was affected by several ravaging fires, while the severe storms in the north might push the government to declare a state of emergency in the affected regions. Croatia, for its part, is witnessing the same situation. Firefighters in Corsica are dealing every night with fires. Other countries witnessing the same situation: Portugal. Thousands of hectares were consumed by flames. The wave reached Spain, Germany, and Poland as well. The United Nations alerted during the last months the current exceptional heat wave that might last until 2027 due to global warming and the weather phenomenon El Niño.
The national airlines company Algérie announced the opening of a direct flight link in Algiers to St. Petersburg. 3 flights a week on Saturday, Monday, and Wednesday. Tickets will be available online in addition to agencies belonging to Air Algérie. The return tickets from Algiers are estimated at 59,703 Algerian dinars, while the return tickets from St. Petersburg amount 522 euros. Within the framework of the fight against terrorism and thanks to the exploitation of information, detachments of the ANP apprehended 2 elements of support for the terrorist groups during separate operations, while a homemade bomb were discovered and destroyed in Blida province. As part of the fight against organized crime and in continuation of the sustained efforts to thwart the scourge of drug trafficking in our country, combined detachments of the ANP in coordination with the various security services intercepted 30 drug traffickers and thwarted attempts to smuggle 5 quintals and 82 kilograms of treated cannabis from the borders with Morocco, and seized more than 2 kilograms of cocaine and 127,032 psychotropic tablets. In Tamanrast, Burj Beji Mukhtar, Ain Gizam, and Elizi, ANP detachment arrested 172 individuals and seized 30 vehicles, 160 generators, 90 jackhammers, 3 metal detectors, as well as quantities of explosives, detonation tools, and equipment used in illegal gold mining operations. In addition, 7 other individuals were arrested and 8 hunting rifles, 20 tons of foodstuffs intended for smuggling and speculation, in addition to 1,500 units of various drinks were seized. And in coordination with the National Gendarmerie and Customs Services, the border guards also failed attempts to smuggle more than 80,000 liters of fuel in Tamanrast, Adrar, Tibissa, Suqaras, and Tarif. On the other hand, the Coast Guards foiled illegal immigration and rescued 60 people aboard home-built boats, while 235 illegal immigrants of various nationalities were arrested throughout the country. A new espionage scandal is jolting the Makhzen with the trial of 36-year-old Moroccan national accused of spying on members of the Moroccan opposition movement Hirak living in Germany for the Moroccan Secret Services. The German Federal Prosecutor's Office has filed an indictment against the suspect for intelligence activities on behalf of foreign countries. The suspect admitted to have conveyed information on the movement as against travel expenses amounting nearly 5,000 euros. We head to Ain Timushint province, hosting one of a holiday makers campaign dedicated Algerian kids living in France who are eager to have a great cultural and tourist experience in their homeland. Najah Diyar has the details.
In an enchanting setting, the beach of Sidi Jalloul in Ain Timushint province welcomed a group of more than 160 children from the north of France to live a unique experience and to discover Algeria during their summer holidays.
I came from Roubaix. I really like Algeria. We went to the beach and visited Tlemcen and Moustaland. I spent a very good time in this camping.
We went to the beach several times. We are having a lot of fun. Since their arrival, the young holiday makers have been perfectly taken care of, where comfort and security are guaranteed to them throughout their stay. We were very warmly welcomed by citizens and the local authorities. Our care is exemplary and all the conditions have been met so that we can have a good stay. The purpose of this trip is to introduce our children to tourist and cultural assets of Ain Timushint province. We have received them in the best possible conditions and we will receive another group of 160 children in few coming days. For 10 days, a tourist circuit including several Algerian cities awaits these kids, promising to offer them a unique cultural experience which will allow them to discover the beauty of Algeria and will remain engraved in their memories.
To another charming Algerian town, namely Delis and its Kasbah or ancient city, being flocked by tourists to admire its enchanting beauty and rich cultural legacy. Let's discover more with Najah Tayyar.
Located 100 kilometers from the capital, Delis is a charming little coastal town. Its millennial history makes it a popular destination for visitors in quest of escape and cultural discoveries. It is a tourist and agricultural town, famous of its cultural, tourist and historical assets such as the Kasbah of Delis or the ancient city. Walking through the narrow streets of the Kasbah of Delis, the visitors are immediately transported to the past. Built on the Roman ruins in the Ottoman era, the architectural jewel attracts visitors from all over the world. I came from Algiers with my wife. Delis is a very beautiful town. When we arrived here, we went directly to the Kasbah, a place full of history. The most visited site in Delis is its Kasbah, and there are less famous sites but not less enchanting, such as the Belgut lighthouse, that is the region's emblematic symbol which has guided several generations of sailors. There are several tourist sites that must be visited in Delis, such as Bouarbi Forest, Khaireddin Barbarous House, and also the Belgut lighthouse. One of the tourist assets of this city, it is its beaches as far as the eye can see, which allow the visitors to relax and recharge their positive energy. I come here every year with my family to have a good time. We chose to come here due to the beauty of this region, and the region's inhabitants are also very welcoming. Like a siren's call, Delis invites its visitors to discover a rich history and a naturally preserved beauty.
That was it for tonight. Thank you for joining us. Good night.